My name is SKR Studios, and today I'm going to be talking about every single track 6 from a 21 Pilots album. Sorry about the white noise in the background. Our AC is on just because the heat is broken, so it's just really hot in here. Track 6 kind of has the bad luck of being in the middle of the record, so it has to keep the listener hooked in while also kind of being a breathing point in the record. You'll see on some albums, track 6 can just continue the momentum. It could just make the momentum a little stale. It could be slower, be a breather. It could start the breather off. We'll see. We'll see as we go into these. So first off is March to the Sea. Continues the religious themes from all 5 tracks so far. Friend Please might not be as much in the religious storytelling as the others, but March to the Sea, I'd say it's got the same sort of storytelling present in the Pantaloon and Implicit Demand for Proof also, but it kind of expands on those themes while telling a fuller story, and the storyline is the most complex storyline they've had in a song so far. The song is also pretty long. It's kind of showing you the early days of what the Demas storyline could be. If you play this song over the Paladin Straight music video, it actually kind of matches up. You see what Tyler is thinking, kind of, if that makes sense. It's slower, so it helps as a break for the album while continuing the themes, the flow, the overall cadence of all of it. It slows it down, it makes it kind of a breather point, and overall it's just continuing the feel of Self-Titled, and it is a great track 6. Then we have Forest from Regional at Best. It's got the synths present in the other songs I've talked about, as well as Ode to Sleep from Regional at Best, Holding On to You and Guns for Hands. It's more synthy. It's got the same whiny vocal performance present in every other Regional at Best song. It's got sort of the same rap in the bridge from Slow Town with its same cadence and flow, and I think that this one is kind of a little bit worse than Slow Town. I don't really like the Forest bridge, but I'm not here to talk about my opinions. I think that Forest really probably is the most iconic track on Regional at Best besides Kitchen Sink. And for track 6, it really does continue the momentum. I think it is pretty good at relating back to the themes of the other songs in a different way, and I really do think this is a good kind of representation of what Vessel could be, and this is kind of the early days of Vessel. I don't think a lot of Regional at Best songs are on that Vessel level at all, and even the demos for them, I don't think they are, but I think that Forest is one of those where if there was a updated version on Vessel, it would probably be one of my favorite 21 Pilots songs. That chorus is just so infectious, and it just is a great point for the album, not as a breather point, but to kind of bring you back in after Car Radio, if that makes sense. I feel like this kind of is a better track 6 than Semi-Automatic. So let's get into Semi-Automatic. Semi-Automatic really kind of just makes Vessel feel a little stale at this point. It's got the same sound with the buzzy synths and kind of an Eminem style rap flow with a different cadence kind of present on Ode to Sleep and Migraine, and it's got the same concept with like the night cycle talk and kind of just another depression metaphor present on this album through a song. It has the same Vessel formula where a word or a phrase is repeated over and over until it's screamed, like entertain my faith, or now I just sit in silence, or all those. I can't think of the other ones right now, but it's not done as well as the other songs, so it's less streamed and it's not played at many shows, and it's not really a staple in their discography. I think it kind of does fall in the background, and it is where Vessel gets kind of stale and it slows down a bit, but I don't know. No new tricks are shown in this one. For me, this is where Vessel kind of goes from great to good. But you got Lane Boy from Blurryface as track 6. I always felt like this should be track 5 because it continues with the Blurryface sound after Tearing My Heart, which it has sort of the same Blurryface sound, but it takes you out of the concept of the album where Heavy Dirty Soul to Ride, Heavy Dirty Soul to Fairly Local, it's all like definitely in the concept of Blurryface, and then Tearing My Heart just rips you back out, but Lane Boy does throw you back in. It's got that dark pop with rap influence, and it has a lyric that kind of relates back to Ride with the list, and the sound is just kind of so cool that I don't really care about the Raised in the Hood line. I mean, I do, but it kind of ages the song poorly, but the sound is just really cool, so it's not as cringe as it would be. It's very popular. It's been played at all 6 shows that I've been to so far, and I'm kind of surprised it's not being played on the Clancy tour, but it's got so many different versions. It's got the top X Mute Math one, it's got the Lame Boy / Redecorate and Lame Boy / House of Gold. It's a popular one. I think that the other versions kind of all are better, but it's a great track 6, and it does have good cohesion on Blurryface, and the Judge doesn't really flow out of it well, but that's alright because the Judge at least is still on concept. Trench's track 6 is Smithereens. It's a break in the lore of Trench, but I think that can be forgiven because it still has a dark sound, and you could think that maybe this is what Clancy or Tyler is thinking while he's stuck in Trench. It's got more of a jazzy feel than rock or pop, and the dirty bass isn't present like it is in Jumpsuit or My Blood or Cut My Lip, but there is a dark piano key played that kind of keeps the sound consistent and makes it sound kind of close to Neon Gravestones in the piano of it, which is going to come up, and it does feel like the kind of perfect follow-up to Chlorine, because where Chlorine slows down, Smithereens kind of picks back up, but it's still kind of in that lower kind of just more jazzy, psychedelic, just kind of easy listening type of vibe, if that makes sense. It is slowing down the album. Of course, you're going to get the Neon Gravestones, and you're now in the middle section, which Neon Gravestones, The Hype, Nico, Cut My Lip, they're all kind of the most important tracks on Trench, if you want to argue that, and they're smack dab in the middle, which I really love about this album. The cohesion on this album is just perfect, and it shows that the album just feels like an album instead of a bunch of random songs in a random order. There's purpose behind it. The jazzy feel also kind of will come back up in Legend, which I think is kind of cool, because the song kind of is the first song where you're like, oh, this sounds a little bit different than everything else on the album, but then the sound is kind of brought back later down in the album, which I really enjoy, and I can relate to the message while it's a little corny. He's not saying that he's gonna fight for her. He can't. He's too weak, but he can definitely stand up for her and get beat up for her. So I love Smithereens. This song is just perfect on kind of every account, and it is my favorite track 6. Now we get to Never Take It. This is kind of the only song from Scaled and Icy where I understand the criticism of the album in terms of the album kind of feeling stale. It's pop rock, which is kind of a good follow-up to Saturday, which is very, very pop. But I don't know, there's nothing that's off about this song. It all just sounds very, it just sounds like Tyler's bored. And I get that he's being controlled, but on every other song on Scaled and Icy, for the most part, besides Formidable for me, I feel like Tyler has a lot of passion that he's putting through with all his words that he's saying and how he's singing, and Never Take It just feels like a background thought, and just kind of feels like Tyler and Josh weren't really in it. I mean, like, the drums are so just faint in the background. They're almost like crunchy in a bad way, and while it has the best synergy probably besides Trench as an album, this is where Scaled and Icy is just like, come on, man, why'd you put Never Take It there? I feel like Saturday to Mulberry Street would have been perfect. I don't know. I don't hate Never Take It. It's just when you compare it to all these other track 6s, it's not very good. And it is one of the lowest streamed 21 Pilots songs of all time. It only has like I don't know. You'll see later in the Spotify as to. Vignette is the newest one, and it feels kind of like overcompensate and backslide with the same sort of rap feel. I feel like it should have been track 2. It's even the second Clancy song that's been played at shows, but it does flow well with the long outro from Routines in the Night that kind of, it slows the track down in this more synthy vibe, and then Vignette kind of starts with the slow synthy thing too. I think that this is the best back-to-back cohesion on Clancy, because Clancy isn't really good at having that album flow. It kind of feels like you're being shifted in different directions every single song. It feels kind of like a darker, colder, sort of like Polarize, or maybe even the Pantaloon, if that makes any sense. Clancy has a lot of addiction themes, but this was actually the first one stated by Tyler on the Clancy live stream, the Clancy release live stream, that he said Vignette is about addiction. He specifically stated that, and I just think that is kind of crazy. He could be talking about addiction in a lot of different forms, but this song really relates to that. And then this song is very, very lore heavy if you get into it, which is also great after Routines in the Night. Doesn't really feel like it's track 6, but maybe that will change over time. This song still hasn't been out very long, so now we will get into Spotify streams. So March to the Sea is the third least streamed from Self-Titled with 48 million, and the least is Aircatcher, which why? Semi-Automatic is the least streamed from Vessel with 117 million streams, not very much. Then you got Lane Boy with 313 million. Like I said, this is one of the most popular from Blurryface. Been played at so many shows. Then you got Smithereens with 114 million. It's higher up on the track list, so it isn't under the 100 millions like some of the other songs like Bandito, Cut My Lip, and Pet Cheetah are. Then, like I said, Never Take It only has 34 million streams. The song has been out for over 3 years. That is insane. It's definitely the least streamed from any 21 Pilots album ever. That's insane. I mean, kind of deserved though, right? It sounds like I hate Never Take It. I don't hate Never Take It. I promise. I don't hate Never Take It. It's a good song. All right. Maybe it's not good. It's all right. It's good. It's mad. It's listen. Vignette has 23 million streams. That's a lot. It's gonna be more than Never Take It by the end of the year. Thanks for coming back around to watch another video, or watching the first one. This was track 6. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I love all of you guys. You guys just make me want to make more videos, and I love 21 Pilots, and I'm glad that you love 21 Pilots as well, because I have a lot of videos prepped for you guys. I'm working on 38 videos right now, so I'll see you next Thursday.